Testing 1 2 test. Testing 1 2 test. That is clear. There we go. All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with a Finding Winners edition for a Thursday, April 29th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your full Friday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are on a mobile device. Okay, how was your day yesterday? Hopefully you guys had some nice winners. Unfortunately, I had some meetings yesterday. I wasn't able to do the show, but right back in the saddle today. And we got some early games going today in Major League Baseball. So I thought I'd kick it off with some Major League Baseball talk first, then go to NBA, and then we'll kick it off with that 10-game slate today in the National Hockey League. And hopefully we can get some good winners today because I feel pretty good right now. You know, in the Major League Baseball, had a really good day yesterday. 12-2 overall at hockey at bullpenpicks.com. In fact, Rob Torrey is having a good run too. 7-2. I went 12-2 yesterday. Eddie O went 9-5. The Terminator 6-6. And Ed Drake, we love the Drake at 10-4. And who else? Mark Nations. Mark went 8-2. So Mark had a pretty good day. G&G, a little bit of load management there on Wednesday on Hump Day. So G&G took a little load management day off. And Sniper's been moving, so he'll be back here very shortly, and we all look forward to seeing the Sniper back, right? Also, Streakcatcher.com, we got a Frank the Tank going here, and Firelink 047. Firelink's one of our top players here. In fact, he's in third place right now, and Firelink does have a play today, and his pick is Tampa Bay, Oakland, and Firelink's on a 9-game win streak. Folks, check him out, Streakcatcher.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join, Streakcatcher.com, and he's on a 9-game win streak. Also, HockeyPicks.com, who's the top scorer right now? Still RMC, Ray, April 28th. And let's see how we did yesterday. Most of the followed players, if you go to the most followed players, you can see their pick yesterday, 4-3. Joker went 3-4. I went 3-4. Eddie went 2-5. And Ed Drake, Muskow, 2-5. Harnett went 1-6. And let me see here. There's Eddie O, 4-3. Mike Anthony, 2-5. And the last one is bballpicks.com. And we're getting close to 100 games right now in the system. If you go to bballpicks.com, and I'm at close to what? There's like 93 picks. And we've been building these sites, and we just released this one here last week. So it's going to take maybe another couple of days before we get 100 picks in the system. But folks, use the site as a sports betting tool, a strategy tool. This is not a fantasy site. It's not a contest site. This is a sports betting tool. And trust me, once you follow the best pickers and they help you win money, you will be back every day looking for their picks because you always go back to the well. And sometimes it's part of your handicapping, knowing that you make your picks and now you're just going to reaffirm your picks with people who are proven winners, right? And that's B-Ball Picks, Hockey Picks, and bullpenpicks.com. All right, let's get to the SBI, and let's take a look at Major League Baseball. We're going to look at MLB, NBA, and NHL. And I've been saying now in Major League Baseball, there's good morning, Daryl. Daryl Huza just logged in online, and hopefully you're having a good morning, Daryl. And your other brother, Daryl. Hey, if you remember the Newhart show, this is my brother, Daryl, my other brother, Daryl. And let's take a look at, look at this. Now we're in a 7-day bull cycle here for the favorites in Major League Baseball. I'm going to sound like I'm pumping my tires or a broken record, but I said it's just a matter of time before the favorites start really cashing in because the underdogs started so strong. In fact, they had a pretty good run here, but look at the favorites in the last 6 days. 13-2, 8-6, 8-8, 6-5. 1 day for the underdog, but 12-2. So we had 2 big days. In fact, if you just take the April 23rd, April 28th, that is 25-4 for favorites. So this is why, once you have that little bit of a reversal and you get 2 days straight and it signifies a bull run, and here's the bull run in favorites, that's where you can start, lifting up your units, right? I would say, if you're at this point here, you're betting 1 unit, but as soon as you start going 2, then you go to 2 units. And if you bet 5 units yesterday on the favorites, you did a pretty good job betting. But it's all in the eye of the beholder. And just what goes up must come down. That's the one thing you got to remember. Now, because the favorites went 12-2 yesterday, that's where you got to start, and especially, we're on a big bull run here in favorites. This is where I would, like they say in French, slack la pédale, right? You want to slack la pédale. That means take your foot off the gas a bit, and because the favorites can't go on like this forever, right? So maybe today in Major League Baseball, you want to slack la pédale and maybe bet 2 units or 1 unit, right? Until we get back in a neutral market. And then you start going 5 units or 3 units. But in a bull market, what do they say in the stock market? Buy low, sell high. Well, we're very high right now. And if you're betting 5 units, you're playing with fire. All right, let's take a look at the over-unders yesterday. Over-unders 7, 5, and 2. So we're neutral market in the last 7 days in the over-unders. But on the 7-day average in favorites. And, let's go to NHL, right? So we're at 52.6. And MLB is a money line sport. Let's go take a look at NHL. And it was, 64% last time? And where are we now? Let me take a look. Little Timmy's there on the side. Okay, little Tim Hortons and handicapping. That's a perfect combination right here. If it was afternoon, then it'd be chicken wings or, hey, I don't drink anymore, so it wouldn't be a beer. It wouldn't be this buds for you type thing. 64.2, see? So I just got a feeling that we're gonna start seeing in the Major League Baseball. You're gonna start seeing the favorites come a little hotter. But we already are hot in the favorites in the Major League Baseball, right? So yesterday NHL 3-4. So this was the second time since the trade deadline that the underdogs had a good day. And there was some. Watch the schedule. Like Montreal played Calgary. This earlier this week. They had 3 games in Calgary, and then they right away came home and that West Coast trip and coming back home facing Toronto. That was a bad schedule spot for the Habs yesterday, and I didn't touch that game at all. In fact, I went 1-1. I had Vegas and Minnesota. Minnesota blew a 3-1 lead, and they lost that game 4-3 to a resurging St. Louis Blues team that's playing really good hockey right now. They're a little hot. Okay. All right, 4-3 to the over/under last night in the NHL. Let's take a look at the NBA, and let's see what's going on in the NBA. All right, take a look at the National Basketball Association, and look at the favorites. Yeah, so the favorites are absolutely straight up on fire. Absolutely on fire. In fact, the underdogs have not won today since let me see here, April 1st, and prior to that it was March 19th. That's straight up, but against the point spread, we are now on a 2-day run on favorites. 6-4 last night, 3-2-1 the night before. We were on a good little underdog run right here. Let's take a look at the 7-day average. Neutral market. So if you are betting the NBA against the point spread, neutral market. So you can fire away. We're neutral. So if you're betting 5 units, I think it's safe. But again, it's like when you're betting 5 units in a 7-day bull market, then you're playing with fire, right? Buy low, sell high, but when we're in a neutral market on the 7-day average, that's what I would recommend. Money management, if you're betting NBA, I think 5 unit is a safe play right now on sides or favorites. The one thing I'm really observing in the Raymond Report is money management. Picking winners and losers, anybody can do that, inconsistently, right? Picking winners consistently is tough to do. And this is why when you're picking sports, I would say the average better is anywhere from 43% to 50. You know what? It's even hard to pick the higher high on the percentage, right? In today's sport, gamblers lose 90% of the time over the long run. And I keep saying this, and I know I'm sounding like a broken record. Just ask yourself and do the self test, right? When was the last time you cashed out? And then you'll get your answer. When was the last time you cashed out? But gamblers they don't know when to cash out because they'll have a great week and then they'll just give it right back the next following day or the next following week. And this is why sometime in sports betting, it's good to take time off. Whenever you have a good week and you've made money, cash out and then take a couple days off, rejuvenate the juices and, recharge the batteries and then get back in it, right? You got to go in cycles because if you're just betting 365 days a year, That's called an action investor. And action investors don't last. Sports investors last because they pick their spots. And, I've known a lot of professional gamblers, they just bet one sport. Some professional gamblers will just bet one sport, and they'll just pick their spots, and they'll come back to it. All right. That's the SBI. Let's take a look here. Oh, you know what? I always like to do horse racing. I always got horse racing fans, and the Kentucky Derby's coming up. Let's take a look at today's track of the day. It's going to be Gulfstream Park. We're going to do Gulfstream Park here, and let's go to race number 1 today at Gulfstream. It's a $21,000 maiden claiming race. Now, folks, if you're into horse racing, and the fever is going to catch up the next couple days, right? People are going to talk about the Kentucky Derby, first Saturday in May. Everybody's excited. And, I can't wait to see it. Grand Wiser today in the first race at Gulfstream Park. 12:50 post time, 7 furlongs on the turf. I'm going to go 6-5-8 in race number 1 today at Gulfstream Park. Michel Yaramillo going here on the number 6 horse, Grand Wiser. 6-5 morning line on Grand Wiser. And then I'm going to go the 5 horse, Juget, with Miguel Angel Vasquez here. Vasquez 38% in the money the last 100 races. And then we're going to close that trifecta ticket with the 8 horse, Under Fire, with Gonzalez taking a ride here on Under Fire. Marissa Mission is my long shot today in race number 1 today at Gulfstream Park. Marissa Mission with Murray on the Murat on the ride here. And 15-1 morning line on Marissa Mission. So if you're going to play the Joker's Wild Selection, I recommend you bet him to win and to play. So this way he comes in second. You get some of that money back. 6-5-8, race number 1 today. If you're going to play an exacta, 6-5-5-8-8-7. Don't forget the box. And if you're going to do a trifecta box, 6-5-8, 7-5-8, trifecta box. Always box those horses. And if you want the free entire tip sheet today for Gulfstream Park, go to atsstats.com, go to tools, go to horses, go to free tip sheet. In the pull down menu, go to Gulfstream Park, April 29th. Today is a full Friday. As Mark Nation, always enjoys when I do these little these tidbits when I nickname a day of the week, and so get all the entire tip sheet today for Friday, Thursday, April 29th. All right, let's go to the database. Now, I'm going to do Major League Baseball first. I'm going to finding winners here today. And this is the, I got a nice email. I'm going to, somebody sent me a nice email, and I'm going to reply to that email after the show. But enjoys the new format. And if you're, you're a longtime, follower at the Raymond Report, and you say, man, this guy's friggin' always changing his format, and he's never consistent. I don't know when he's on. I'm trying to find the caramel secret. I'm trying to find that recipe, that show format. It's about business. At the end of the day, the numbers have got, the audience has got to be there. It's got to be a show that it's fun doing. It's fun for you guys to watch. And not only if it's fun to watch that, it's also informative, that you're getting good information. And I think this format that I've got now, instead of going game by game by game and just putting you to sleep, I'm doing almost like the opposite. I'm taking a different approach of finding winners. That's why the name of the show is called Finding Winners. And I'm using my database and the tools that I have to my disposal here in the PST Gaming Network. I got over 20-some websites, so why not use these websites to find winners? At the end of the day, my wife says, it's a good thing your show's not called Picking Winners. She goes, I wouldn't want to see the logo of that show. Hey, good sense of humor, the Mrs. Raymond, eh? All right, let's go find some winners here today. All right, here we go. So I added, this is one thing I added here on the Smart Database. I added the all-conference. Let's go look for favorites against left-handed pitchers. There's, I think it was the Chicago White Sox. They're horrible against lefties. But let's take a look this season out of the gate. Favorites against lefties. And let's see how they're doing so far since April 1st. I saw the Yankees. Yankees have a good, there's a nice, let me see, I might have to reload here. No, I think I'm good. All right, look at the Yankees. 0-8 to the under. When the New York Yankees face a lefty, but they're a favorite this year, keep an eye on them. They're 0-8 to the under. That's a pretty good, finding a winner. We found a winner right here. The New York Yankees, 8-0 to the under when they're a favorite, and they're facing a lefty. Some teams can't hit lefties, right? Yankees facing Lopez today. Lopez, a right-handed pitcher. Now, let's take a look at Boston. When they're a favorite, 3-5 to the under. I'm just going to pull out the noticeables, right? things that stick out. 2-3, 3-2. No one cares about that. Kansas City, 5-1 as a favorite versus lefties. 1-5 to the under. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good record right there. Cleveland. Hey, I don't know why I always do that voice when I say Cleveland. I think it was Jim Mora. Hey, I think it's the Jim Rome show that watching those back in 10 years ago, and he used to say Cleveland. Oakland 9-1 as a favorite versus lefties as a favorite. Pretty good. But Oakland went on that crazy streak. They should be 9-1. Anybody goes in that kind of streak should be 9-1, right? Atlanta 4-0-1 to the over versus lefties this year as a favorite. And let me see here. Any other finding winners? Chicago Cubs 1-6. So the Cubbies playing today. They are playing today, but I don't know if they're facing a lefty. No, Bryce Wilson's a righty. So let me see here. We got a few lefties going today. St. Louis 4-2 to the over. Cincinnati 4-1 to the over. Now the Reds are not playing today. 1-4 though. They're 1-4 versus lefties too as a favorite. San Francisco 6-2 versus lefties. 2-5-1 to the under. Dodgers 6-3. So you can see we got some good information there. So keep an eye out on those teams. We'll keep a track out on those situations. And let's see as an underdog. Now we did a favorite. Let's take a look on how underdogs do versus lefties. Oh, there we go. I knew there was something. So we'll go back to our smart database. We'll go to MLB. Let's go to any. Let's go to underdogs. Let's go face the Southpaws. Let's go to April 1st to April 28th. Versus lefties. And let's see how the underdogs do. All right. Boston Red Sox 3-0 against lefties this year. Toronto 3-1 versus Southpaws and 1-3 to the under. In fact, I'm going to do another range the last 2 years. I'm going to show you Toronto versus lefties the last 2 years. Pretty good record. Baltimore 2-5. Okay, I'm just going to Minnesota 0-4 versus lefties. So keep an eye out on that. The Twins don't do well against left-handed pitchers. 3-1 to the over. What else we got? Kansas City 0-4 to the under. So against lefties. So as an underdog. So keep in mind as an underdog, right? Detroit 2-6 straight up and 2-6 to the under versus lefties as an underdog. Angels 0-3 versus lefties. I know it's not a lot of occurrences, only 3 occurrences, but keep an eye out on that. 0-3 to the under versus Southpaws. Houston 3-1, but 4-0 to the over. And Houston, are they playing today? Yeah, okay. So Houston, Seattle, but are they an underdog? No, they are. They're a favorite. Let me check out when they're a favorite. Atlanta 0-4 to the under, but Atlanta is facing. I think it's a right-handed pitcher. Let me see here. Atlanta. Les Braves. Yeah, righty. All right, let me see here. Who else? Slack la pedale, eh? Let's slack la pedale. Milwaukee 3-1. 5-2 San Fran versus lefties. 6-2 to the over. 6-2-1 to the over as an underdog. Arizona. No, but they're facing a right-handed pitcher. Sensatel is going today for Colorado. So let's check out. So let me see who's facing lefties today. So Baltimore's facing a lefty as an underdog. I didn't see their record if it was any good. Let me see. Baltimore 3-4, 2-5. Yeah, nothing really to write home about. Who else is facing? Okay, let's see. Houston versus Southpaws as a favorite. So let's see what Houston's record is as a favorite. All right, 5-6, 3-6-2. Not bad. Nothing. It gives you an indicator, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to find indicators. Milwaukee and the Dodgers. So the Dodgers are a favorite, and this is favorite. So versus lefties, LA Dodgers 6-3, 3-6 to the under. Again, it gives you a good indicator, right? Boston Red Sox. Now, I didn't see the latest line. I don't have the line this morning wasn't out. Let me check with Bookmaker and see what they got. Oh, not there. Boston Red Sox. All right, so they're a favorite against Texas. So Boston as a favorite. Or was I doing Boston here? Hang on. Yep. No, Texas. Texas. But Boston is a... so Texas as an underdog. Yeah, I'd have to come back to that. Chicago White Sox versus left. Yeah, so the White Sox, I know they don't... I'll check back. I know last year they weren't... I think it was Chicago White Sox. Didn't have a good record versus lefties. Favorites, lefties. Let me see so far out of the gate. White Sox. There you are. 3-2. Okay, let me go back. I think it was last year. So let's go back to last year, 2020. Favorites versus lefties. So Yankees 17-7. So again, I'm just going to bring out the big ranges here. Toronto Blue Jays, look at that. As a favorite versus lefties, 10-1, 3-7-1. So keep an eye out on that. 3-0. Minnesota to the under since last year. 6-13-2 to the under. White Sox 12-3. Oh no, they did well versus lefties. That was it. They did well versus lefties. 12-3 as a favorite versus left-handed pitchers. So yeah, so I knew there was something with the White Sox. I couldn't remember if it was a good record or a bad record. So it was a good record. All right, there's Miss Denica. How you doing, Miss Denica? All right, here we go. Let's do right-handed pitchers. Let's see how favorites so far this year versus right-handed. And you know what? Yeah, we'll do that. Favorites versus righties. See which team is right now is the best. And I'll come back to the, I'll do a short cycle like the last 2 weeks. Sometimes, when I do my handicapping, I look for short cycles and long cycles, right? The season long cycle and the short cycle, catch teams in a hot streak cycle. All right, so right-handed pitchers, 7-2 to the over for Boston as a favorite. I got favorite, right? Yeah, favorite. Let me see here. Minnesota, Chicago, Kansas City, 5-1-1 to the over as a favorite. So are they playing today? KC? No, I think it's their day off. Or maybe, yeah, I thought it was their day off. Yeah, so we only got 9 games today. So a couple teams, a little day off here today. Little Tim Horton break for some of the teams, right? Cleveland, 0-4 to the under as a favorite. So I don't think Cleveland is playing today. Cleveland. And then we got Oakland, 1-4 as a favorite. They're playing Tampa Bay, but I thought, let me see here, is Tampa Bay the D race? Now, we know that Firelink likes the under in that game, right? Firelink's on a 9-game win streak. Hey, we know Eddie went on a good win streak, but Firelink's on a good win streak too. Let me see here, Tampa Bay. Yeah, 8 is the total, and who's the favorite? So, Tampa Bay is favorite, minus 109 to 101. All right. Wild cases, but they're not a favorite. What about Tampa Bay? Let me see here. What did I say again? Tampa Bay, right-handed pitchers, right? Oakland, righty. I don't know what McClanahan is, so we'll have to wait. I'll check that out after. Atlanta, New York Mets, 0-6-1 as a favorite versus right-handed pitchers. I don't think the Mets are playing today. No. All right, Cubbies, 1-6. Cubs are 1-6 versus right-handed pitchers, and they lost the first 3 games of the series, and they're facing another Bryce Wilson. Bryce Wilson's a righty. So again, Chicago 1-6 versus right-handed pitchers, but they're not a favorite. No, so Atlanta. Let me see what I'll check as an underdog. Maybe they're better as an underdog. Cincinnati, Cincy playing today? I don't think so. Milwaukee, the Brew Crew. Yeah, the Brew Crew's playing against the Dodgers, but they're not a favorite. And LA Dodgers, 10-6, but they're facing a lefty. Hey, Bauer versus Lauer. Sounds like a law firm, right? Bauer Lauer Law Firm. We'll strike you out. All right, let's take a look at underdogs. Let's take a look at underdogs versus righties so far. Might have a few angles here today. Boston. Is Boston playing? Yeah, so they're playing Texas, and it's Perez against Gibson. And what's the line on that game? So it's Boston's favorite, minus 119. So Boston, they're not an underdog though. All right, Let me check here. Toronto. Blue Jays got a little... Washington got a little bit of payback yesterday after that Guerrero big night. Baltimore. Yeah, so it's a righty. We're facing righties here. Tampa Bay. So we're looking for underdogs here. Minnesota. Nothing really. Kansas City. KC. No, they're not. 1-5 versus as an underdog to the under. So underdogs versus right-handed pitchers. So let me see if there's any underdogs here. I'll do it this way, it'd be quicker. Underdogs versus righties. So Milwaukee's facing a righty. See what Milwaukee has an underdog versus right-handed pitchers. 5-2, not bad as an underdog. Think of that, right? They're an underdog. That's a pretty good. It's pretty good right there. Seattle's an underdog versus a right-handed pitcher. So how's Seattle? I got a feeling it's going to be good. They need to win one than Houston, but I think Houston's got their number for some reason. Where's Seattle? Did I miss it? San Diego, Arizona. There they are. 8-7. Okay, not as great, right? All right, so we got some good information there. Some pretty good numbers, right? Okay, let me take a look real quickly, and then I'll go to NBA. So favorites, let's go back to last year. Favorites, let's go back to 2020 to now versus lefties, and let's see which team are the best. And then we'll do underdogs. All right, and I'm just going to bring out things that are noticeable. Toronto 10-1, 3-7-1 to the under. Tampa Bay 8-16-2 to the under. Minnesota 6-13-2 to the under. Now this is favorites. Now keep in mind it's favorite. White Sox 12-3 as a favorite versus lefties. Kansas City 7-3 as a favorite versus lefties. 1-9 to the under. And let me see here. 19 and look at Oakland. Oakland versus lefties. 19-5. Wow, that's pretty solid right there. Texas, Houston, we got a problem. Atlanta 14-5, 14-5 versus Southpaws last 2 years as a favorite. Very good, very good. Let me see here. 11-5 for the Cubbies. 11-5 as a favorite versus lefties. Pittsburgh 0-1. They've only been that's because they've only been a favorite. They faced a lot of lefties, but they're never a favorite the last 2 years, right? Milwaukee 11-5-2 to the over. 11-5-2 to the over as a favorite. Dodgers 24-12. All right, let's see the underdogs. Which underdog the last 2 years have a great record against Southpaws? All right, we'll take a look at, and I'll just the noticeables, so this way we don't spend an hour on this. White Sox 6-0 versus as an underdog versus lefties. Yeah, they wish they can face Southpaws all the time. Look at Kansas City 1-11. So keep that in mind when you're handicapping the Kansas City game and they're facing lefties. 11-1 to the under if they're a favorite. So keep that in mind. That's pretty good. Cleveland 1-6. Cleveland 5-3. 9-3-1 to the over for Houston as a underdog. Yeah, we're doing underdogs here, right? 9-3-1. I think we're doing underdogs here. Yep, underdog 9-3-1. Philly 10-5. Pretty good. All right, good information right there. So let's take a look at the. Before I do NBA, let me take a look at the trends of the day. Let's go to old 80% club, see if there's any good Major League Baseball trends, and then I'll do NBA. All right, so Sensatella, when Antonio Sensatella is on the road and the total 7.5 and 8, the under is 10-1 in his last in his start. So pretty good. That's a pretty good number right there. And Homer Way versus Arizona, he likes the under in those games. 8-2 to the under in his last 10 against Zona. White Sox is a favorite versus Detroit. 13-2 last 15. Pretty good right there. The White Sox. So we talked about the left-handed pitchers, right? When the Chicago White Sox are 180 to 200 home chalk, and it's a night game, but I think they got a doubleheader today, or is there a doubleheader? Let me see. What time's that game tonight? Yeah, they got 2 of them. So this, I wouldn't count this as a reliable stat because of doubleheaders. Anytime I got doubleheaders, it's just there's too much inconsistency in lineups, and I don't put much stock into it. St. Louis 13. So the Cardinals as a home underdog versus non-division opponent, and it's the 4th game of a series, 13-3. So St. Louis Cardinals as a home dog versus a non-division opponent. So the Cards are facing the Phillies today, and it's the 4th game of a series. Pretty good, 13-3 straight up. So that's a pretty good record right there. And let me see here. When the Houston Astros are a home team last 2 years, and they won their last game by 2 runs, 10-2-1 to the over. So pretty good stat right there. Let me take a look at some other 80% club stats. So I got 2 sets of 80% club here at ATS. I got the old one and the new one. Let's take a look at some of the new ones right here. All right. So we got the under Oakland game. So the under is 11-1 for the Athletics as a pick'em to 120 road favorite, coming off a 2-run loss since 1996. Let me see, what's the line on that game? Yeah, so they're minus 101, but they're not a road favorite. So see, that line must have opened up they are a favorite. Oakland is on the run line. Okay, so we're looking at the run line. The Rays are 11-1 as a pick'em to 120 home underdog, coming off a 2-game win streak. Pretty good. All right, the White Sox 12-2 to the under as a 180-200 home favorite versus American League Conference opponent the last 10 years. The Braves are 17-3 as a 120-140 home favorite, coming off a right-handed pitcher. All right, not bad at all. And let me see here, anything else worth chalking up? The Braves 9-2 as a 120-140 home favorite versus NL Central Division opponents. Okay. All right, pretty good stats right there. Let's take a look at NBA. Let's take a look at some NBA games. And good information right there today. And we know what? Since I did the Major League Baseball first in case people want to get down early, and once this video is done, it's going to go on repeat. So people who see it before the first pitch, hopefully we're able to help them out, right? All right, let's take a look at NBA right now. And we got a lot of games tonight in the NBA. So let's take a look at some of the situational stuff here in the NBA. So we're getting close to crunch time here, playoff time, right? All these, now we're seeing in NHL, NBA, the playoff races. So let's take a look at some of the situational stuff here. Let's see who's been on a really good streak here in the short cycle as a favorite. Let's go back in April. Let's go the last 4 weeks. Who's been a really good team the last 4 weeks against the point spread or total in the last couple of weeks? All right, let's take a look at this. Oh, I don't want 1996. All right, so favorites 2021, April. And we can put totals too. I'll do totals after to see, again, finding winners, right? We're about trying to find winners here. All right, let's take a look. Short cycle. Red Sox 7-3. Red Sox. Boston Celtics. Okay, let me see here. That was yesterday. I was looking at the wrong sheet. All right. I don't think Boston's playing today. No. Brooklyn 8-3 straight up, 7-4 against the number, and KD's back, right? New York Knicks. Now this as a favorite, right? So we're looking at the rolls as a favorite. Bruins puck line is my winner, says Slumlord. All right, 8-3, 7-4. Brooklyn tonight is a 9.5 point road dog. So we'll take a look at the that angle in a second. New York as a favorite, 6-0. So who's the favorites tonight? We got Milwaukee, we got Golden State, New Orleans, Denver, Dallas, and Brooklyn. So we'll keep an eye out on those teams. Toronto 6-2, 6-2 to the under is a favorite. So keep an eye out on the Raptors when they're a favorite short term. Again, we're just looking short term cycles here. Last month, this way you jump on the streak, right? Cleveland 1-4, straight up and against the point spread, but 4-1 as a favorite. But how many times? Well, you know what? Cleveland's been a favorite 4 times, but they're playing the beatables, right? They're playing teams that they should be beating. Oklahoma, Detroit, Charlotte. Oh, Charlotte, I'm a little surprised there. Oh, that's a pick'em. That was a pick'em game. Detroit, Indiana, 5-1 as a favorite, but 3-3 against the point spread. Now Milwaukee, 12.5 point favorite. They're 8-4 straight up as a favorite, but 6-5-1 against the number. Atlanta's been a nice team against the point spread. 7-2 straight up, 7-2 against the number. So that's been pretty good. Miami 8-4, 9-3. Look at this, the Miami Heat. They're not playing tonight, right? 9-3 to the over as a favorite. The last in April. So if you find the Heat and they're a favorite, take a look at the total in that game. Washington 6-1 as a favorite, 4-2-1. Denver 11-3 as a favorite, but look at this, 11-3 as a favorite, but only 5-9, and that's an A-type team in the Raymond Report, right? And this is why you gotta be careful. These high-profile teams with Denver, Lakers, Clippers, even though they're popular with the probably the betting market, but against the point spread, bookmakers know that. And if you look at Denver's last couple of games, 2-point win last night. Here was a blowout, then another little blowout here, but 1-point win here. So a lot of low-scoring games. In fact, let me see here. Here's another one here, a 2-point win here, or a loss, or no, it was a win. That was a win against San Antonio. So you can see they're involved in close-scoring games, right? Minnesota, no. So favorites. Clippers 10-2, but 7-5 against the number. Phoenix 9-2 straight up, 5-5-1. Sacramento 1-4. So this is why I don't bet on C-type teams, right? You can't trust them. People see Sacramento as a favorite, against say Minnesota, Detroit, and they're saying, oh, you know what? That's a nice pick. Not so fast, my friends, as Lee Corso would say. 1-4, 0-4-1 against the number. And let me see here, nothing else. All right, let's take a look at underdogs. Let's see who's been the best underdog this month of April. Well, going back to 96 again. I always got to remember I got to hit the finding winners. That's what we're doing here. If you're tuning in, that's the new format. We're trying to find winners, right? Trying to find an advantage, trying to find an edge. So this way, an angle. So underdogs. Let's see who the underdogs are tonight. Houston, Minnesota, Oklahoma, Toronto, Detroit, and Indiana. So we'll keep an eye out on these teams right here. Let me see. So Boston, Philadelphia, Toronto. So here's Toronto. Not good as an underdog in April. 2-5 straight up and against the number. Chicago, Cleveland. Cleveland's not playing tonight. Detroit 4-9 and 5-7-1. Detroit's playing Dallas 5-8 to the under, so not a great record. Indiana's a favorite underdog tonight, 6-3 to the over. So if you're looking for an indicator on that Indiana game, maybe that's a lean. If you can find more indicators to the over, could be worth a look. Charlotte, they're not playing tonight, but Charlotte as a dog in April, 9-3 to the under. Orlando, 11-3. I've been betting Orlando. If you've been following my premium picks, I've been riding the over in Orlando, and this is the reason why. They've covered the last couple of games to the over, right? If I look at this, Lakers, in fact, Orlando's last 4 games as an underdog all went over. So this is why, when you handicap, see, this is a good time to talk about this. When you're doing game by game, you're focused on matchups, and then your judgment, your mindset is about team matchups and the coaching matchup, the player matchup, the standing matchup. But when you look at it from a different perspective, and you're looking at it from the role, the underdog role, the favorite role, then you could tie in those matchups, but using a different angle towards your handicapping, right? And this is why I've been doing this 24 years, and I've I've been plugging and plugging and plugging, and I've tried everything and testing in trial and error. And it's I always want to paint the perfect Picasso, but the any handicapper will tell you they've probably changed their style about 20 times in if they've been doing this a long time. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to find the right caramel secret, right? What's the right betting angle? What's the right philosophy? What's the right system that works for you? And the thing is, as much as we'd all love to be like high 80s, 90s, we'll settle for 57 to 65% in that range. Believe it or not, if you're new to handicapping and you're saying, is this guy nuts? He just wants to be a 57% capper. 57% or higher to 65 will make you money. And there's a reason why the it's called casinos and sports books, not banks, right? Orlando, like I said, there's a nice angle. Keep an eye out on that. And Denver, Minnesota, Portland, 1-6. See, Portland as an underdog, 1-6. See, Portland, I know they went through that 5-game win streak and they finally snapped it, but because they got a great player like Lillard, and they acquired Powell, they got some good players. Sometimes it just doesn't really work out the way you want it to, right? Oklahoma, Golden State, Clippers, Lakers, Phoenix, Sacramento, Dallas, Houston. Is Houston playing tonight? Houston against Milwaukee. So Houston 2-13, 6-9, 9-6 to the over. Memphis, New Orleans. Now New Orleans playing. Are they? They're a favorite. Okay, they're a favorite. San Antonio, Spurs. No, I don't think they're playing. All right. So those are some of the angles here. I'm just gonna take a quick look to my database. Well, let's go to the stats and trends. Let's go to NBA and let's see if there's any good angles here. I like Indiana to go over. Another lock. Thank you, Ray. Hey, there he is with those locks. All right, Denver Nuggets 18-1. See, I'm not crazy about straight up, but the system just grabs all the stats, right? Elliot V, what's up, buddy? The Bucks 13-1. Yeah, let me take a look. Let me take a look at the old 80% club. And then I'll take a look at the quick matchups. I'll go through a quick matchup report. NBA. We are finding out the Cubs aren't very good. Yeah, exactly. Cubs are yeah, I don't know if you saw the beginning, Glenn. We talked about how baseball teams do versus right-handed and left-handed pitchers, and the Cubs, yeah, they're not having a good run right now. In fact, prior to this game against the Braves, they played the Brewers. They had that big Friday afternoon game, right? 16-4, and then the Brew Crew took care of business the last Saturday and Sunday, and now just what the doctor ordered for Atlanta, a visit with the Cubs, because it was just a matter of time before the Braves would start hitting, right? They're too good of a team. Like Tampa Bay is another team that I find. All right, let's take a look at NBA. Let's always start from the bottom in NBA. Let's see from the bottom. Okay. Work from the bottom on the way up. Toronto, last 5 years when they lost their last game by 13 points or more, and they're 3-2 in their last 5, 2-8 to the under. Brooklyn as a road team the last 5 years, and when they're in a 5-2 cycle, 20-5 to the over. Interesting stats right there. Let me see here. Nothing really to write home about. So Brooklyn as a road team, the total's 220 or more, and they scored between 116 and 120 in their last game. 10-2-1 to the over. Interesting. All right. Interesting stats right there. Let me go to my database. Now, I'm seeing a lot of streaks here, so I'm going to take a quick look at some of the streaks in the NBA. I found a really good streak on Underdogs. Let me share this with you guys. This is a really good system. Underdogs on a 4-game losing streak. Check this out. This season. I think it's even better for home underdogs. 25-9 to the over. That's pretty solid. I think home underdogs like 15-3 or something like that, or 16-3 now. 15-4. Okay, 15-4. Home underdogs on a 4-game losing streak, 15-4 to the over. Pretty solid, right? All right, so we do any 4-game losing streaks tonight? Not that I can see of. I see a 5-game losing streak, so let's check this. Let's do home underdogs on a 5 or more game losing streak. Here we go. Home underdogs on a 5 or more game losing streak. See, not as they finally snap it after 4 games, right? So nothing to really write home about. Let's do road favorites, away favorites coming off 3 unders. So Milwaukee's coming off 3 unders. There we go. Nope. Oh, 7-15 against the point spread. So when you think about the system, let's talk about this. So away favorites. So Milwaukee's a 12.5 point away favorite, and they're coming off 3 unders. So, what does that tell you? When the team is coming off 3 unders, it tells you that low scoring games. In fact, let me bring up their last 3 games. Let me bring up the last 3 games for Milwaukee. Let's go to Premium Reports. I want to see who they face their last 3. So Charlotte, Atlanta, 6. So you know what? So they kept Philly the Sixers to 94 points. They kept Atlanta to 111, and then they kept the Hornets to 104. So they're playing pretty good defense, right? They're playing. Let's take a look at the last 3 compared to their season on defense. So Milwaukee, the last 3 games on defense, 103, and look at their season average, 112. So you can see that the shift from a coaching point of view has gone to defense, right? Play more defensive basketball. And now's the time where you're going to start seeing these type of teams, the A-type teams, the B-type teams, like the good basketball teams that are playoff bound. They got to start focusing on defense, because in reality, this is their training camp to playoffs right now. This is when you're facing those good teams. Okay, let's try the triangle. Let's focus more on zone defense this game. These are things against the good teams that these coaches are gonna, their strategy, right? So away favorites coming off 3 unders this season, and we saw the record, right? 7-15 overall. So not a good play for Milwaukee, but again, you can't trust C-type teams like Houston, right? Let me see. Golden State coming off 2 ATS losses. Minnesota 3 ATS wins. So let's see. Minnesota's playing some really good basketball. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota these days. All of a sudden they want to play winning basketball in T-Wolf land, eh? Isaiah, what's going on with your T-Wolves there? Is Isaiah in the house here today? Hey, Isaiah's from Minnesota. Let me see. T-Wolves 3-game win streak, 11-19 on the road, 15-15 against the point spread, and let me see, against Golden State, they're 4-6. 4-6. So, all right, let's do away favorites coming off 3 ATS wins. Actually, are they a favorite? No, they're an underdog. Yeah, 3 ATS wins. So let me do, and they're between. Let me check this out first. Home underdogs coming off 3 ATS wins this year. Oh boy, 3-9, 4-8 against the point spread, but 4-8 to the under. So let's do this. Let's go underdogs coming off 3 ATS wins. And again, we're not handicapping Golden State, Minnesota. We're handicapping the bookmaker's mindset on why he's got these numbers and these totals in this range, right? Compared to other times where he had the same situation. So let's do minus, where is it here? All right, so home underdog. Any home underdogs of 3.5 to 6 coming off 3 ATS wins this year. Not a lot are current 0-2, 0-2. Let's do last 2 years. Let's check it out the last 2 years. Finding winners. That's what we're trying to do here today on the Raymond Report. 3-6, 3-6 to the under. So you see how the under's showing up here a bit. Let's see if we got a progression here the last 3 years. Let's see if we have a progression. 9-13. Yeah, we're still progressing to the under. Let's see the last 5 years. Let's see if it stays that way. The T-Wolves winning too much. They need to start losing. Yeah, they're going to mess up their draft pick, right? 19 and 20. See how it always balances out? 20 and 20. 19, 20 and 1. Yeah, what are they thinking? All right, let's take a look at the Golden State. Now, Golden State, let's take a look at the Warriors here. Warriors coming off a big loss to Dallas, right? They got smoked 133 to they lost by 30. Let's see how but you know what? Let me see. Golden State against C-type teams on the road. 8-9. 8-9, 7-10 to the under. So really nothing pointing out. Let's take a look at Golden. So let's do this. Let's go away favorites. Away favorites. And let me see here. Coming off 2 ATS. Yeah, we'll do two ATS losses, and then we'll do by 30 point loss. It's not every game you get. Oh, did it again? Hang on here. Oh, current season. All right, let me see. Missing some of your questions here. Apologize for that. Yes, the Cubs are 6-0 versus left-handed starters, but only versus left-handed. What? I see the Cubs are 6-0 versus left-handed starters. Bet them only versus. Yeah, exactly. Red Sox 8-1 away this year. They are a danger in the East. Yep. You know what? Nobody saw the Reds. Hey, Cora's been the difference, I think. Had a great season betting the teams, the Lefties. Yankees over Brooklyn's. Flip side is the teams are out and loosey-goosey players are losing their stats. Here I am, Raymond. Let's go. There's Rui, my buddy from Lisbon. Tricky match. Sargent recent from T-Wolves, 0.91. Timberwolves winning too much. They need to start losing again. This is some deep analysis, says Slumlord. Yeah, that's what we do here. We go deep down into the well here. Hey, okay, what the 24 and 16 to the over. So favorites coming off 2 ATS loss, but let's see how teams do when they get smoked in their last game as a favorite. So teams that lost by 20 points or more. Let me see here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. All right, so away favorites coming off a game where they lost by 20 points or more this season. 20-8 straight up, so nice bounce back. 17-11. Let me see if they're between -5.5 or lower. -6 or lower. So favorites of 6 or lower coming off a 20-point loss this year. 6-12-1. So be careful. Be careful tonight if you do like Golden States. Favorites of 6 or less coming off a 20. Oh, that's a win. We want loss, not loss. Yeah, let's see. 9-12-1. Why is it doing a win? We want loss. No, it's a loss. 20 or more point loss, but it shows up as a win right there. I don't know why it does that. Let me see if I do the other side. If I do a loss, we'll cover our angles here. See if it shows up as a loss. No. All right, so it's just wording. All right, so 6-12-1 for teams that are 6.5 point less favorite coming off a 20 or more point loss. Actually, let me take a note so I can fix that. Tell the programmer coming off 20 point loss shows up as win. See, we're doing some quality control here. Hey, when you're a one-man show, you're also the part-time handicapper's programmer's assistant. All right, let's go to the next game. New Orleans against Oklahoma. 3 under. So New Orleans coming off 3 under. So let's go. Let me see here. Let's go away favorites coming off 3 unders. I think we did that already, right? Survey says 7-15. Also, I'll do the ATS calculator. Do you guys want me to do the calculator today on the NBA? Just let me know. Put it in the chat, and I'll do the ATS calculator forecast. And if you want me to do calculator, tell me which sport you guys want me to do. Let's take a look at this. Pelicans, Oklahoma. All right, so 5-6, 4-7, 8-3 to the over. So you can see that. Pelicans on the road against teams below 500. And look at the Thunder has been bearish for 26 days. Bearish means they're 1-2, 1-6, 0-7, or 2-5 in their last 7 games. They've been bearish. That means they've been sucking for a long time. That's what that means. Hey, that's what that means. Yeah, I like the most. NBA I like the most, says NBA Calculator. Likewise, says Isaiah. There's Cheeks. What's up, Cheeks? All right, let me see here. Away favorites, so we did that. 2 unders. Let me see. What did the Pelicans in their last game, coming off a 2-point loss. That was a tough loss. And was that back-to-back game situation here? Is that 0? Yeah, so they're playing on 0 days rest, right? So let me try this. Away favorites, coming off a 1 to 3 point loss in the back-to-back game situation. So let's take a look at teams tonight. So away favorites coming off a 1 to 3 point loss in a back-to-back game situation. 3-2. Not a lot of occurrences, right? Let me check the last 2 years. 5-2 to the over. It's only 7 occurrences. Let's try the last 3 years. See if we get a progression to the over. 6-3. Well, let's keep going. Let's see if we get more progressions to the over. Last 4 years. 7-4. And last 5. Balanced out 9-9. How about this? 8.5 point, right? So let's do away favorites of 6.5 to 9. Let's go back to 96 in back-to-back game situations. 18-5. So since 1996, road favorites of 6.5 to 9, coming off a 1 to 3 point loss in back-to-back game situations. 18-5 straight up, and 14-9 against the point spread. So, you know, it just gives you an indicator, right? Gives you a good indicator. Now, let's take a look at the Toronto-Denver game. Now, here's the opposite, right? You got a home favorite of 4.5. So you got a home favorite coming off a win now, a 1 to 3 point win. Let's see current season in back-to-back games. Five, 2-1, not bad. 6-2 against the number. Let's just do home teams. Let's just check out home teams. 9-6, 9-5-1. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Let's do home favorites, and let's what's the total here tonight? 224. Let's see what the total is between a certain range here. 220 or more. Nope, nothing really. All right. What was the final score of that game? Toronto-Denver. All right, final score was so Toronto's coming off a 13-point loss, and Denver's coming off. So Denver against C-type teams at home, 11-3 straight up, but only 4-10. You know, be careful. I think Toronto might be the play here tonight. I think Denver's, you know, great against straight up, but against the point spread we saw earlier, right, in the smart database, not really a bettor's best friend when it comes to being a big favorite. In fact, what's Denver's record as a home favorite coming off a 1 to 3 point win? Let's say this year. Or, you know what, there probably won't be a lot of occurrences. Yeah, 0-2. Let's see the last 3 years. 0-7. Wow, look at that. So the Denver Nuggets, as a home favorite the last 3 years, coming off a 1 to 3 point win the last game. 1-6 straight up, but 0-7 against the point spread. 0-7. Let's see the last 5 years. That's pretty 4-12. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Toronto finding winners here at the Raymond Report. That's that's a pretty good angle right there. All right, let's look at Dallas. So let's look at Dallas. Detroit coming off 3 unders. So let me see Detroit. Ain't getting my money. Who, the Raptors? Is that what you're saying, Isaiah? Isaiah says, ain't getting my money. Hey, if you, anybody who's tuning in right now, check out Streakcatcher. Well, we got a Frank the Tank on the loose here. Firelink 047 is 9-game win streak, and he's got the under tonight in the Tampa Bay Oakland game. So little heads up for the streakers out there. When is baseball? I just did baseball. You'll have to check the replay, Lonnie. That's why you got to show up earlier, Lonnie. Hey, you can't be you can't come in halftime. Hey, Lonnie, you can't be coming into the show at halftime here. You're missing the entire game here. Come on, Lonnie. Hey, have you guys seen the ending of the Denver match? Hilarious. Don bet on Toronto. Don't bet on Toronto. LOL. Crafters. Johnny Brasco says the Crafters. Yep. Hey, talk about going from, your ticket tape parade there 2 years ago to like, hey, who's left? Hey, poor Raptors. My poor Raptors. What's going on with the Raptors here? All right, let's take a look here. Dallas, Detroit. Dallas coming off a big win, right? So let's see how now the betting public's going to see that big win, and they're going to be all over Dallas here. Let's see how home away favorites coming off a 30-point win, right? It was a 30-point win. So a 20 or more point win. Let's see how they do in this spot. Let's do... Now, was this a back-to-back game situation? I don't think so, right? Was this 2 nights ago? Let me see here. 2 nights ago. All right. So, away favorites coming off a 20 or more point win this season. Let's see how they are this season. Yeah, pretty even. 20 and 22 and 1. All right. Let's tighten it up here. Let's do... let's go road favorites of 6.5 to 9 this year. 5 and 5. Yeah, you can get more tighter than that. It's even. All right. Away favorites. Or let's do home underdogs. Coming off 3 unders. Detroit's coming off 3 unders. Let's see what the dogs are in this spot doing. 6 and 12. Straight up and against the number. Not too good. Let me see. Then Detroit coming off a win. So let's do home underdogs coming off. Was that at a home underdog win? Let's do that. Let's do home underdogs coming off a home win as an underdog this season. 14, 27, and 2. Wow. That's interesting. Home underdogs coming off a win as an underdog. 11 and 32 straight up, but only 14, 27, and 2. So you got 2 different type of, you would think, and this is where you got to be careful as a bettor, right? The mindset, and think like my buddy says all the time, Ross Benjamin, think like the bookmaker. So you got a team coming off a blowout win over Golden State. Golden State were on a good run here, and they didn't, not even close, right? 133 to 103. And then you got a team like Atlanta. Since they fired their coach, they've been on a great run. They've been having, obviously losing trade doesn't help, but Detroit beat them by 100 to 86, and they kept them to 86 points. So let's see how teams. There's an angle we can use. Home underdogs that kept their opponents to, let me see here, 86 to 90 points against in their last game this year. 4, 5, and 1, 2, and 8. Look at this, 3 and 7 to the under. So that's a pretty good angle right there. Hey, Scotty, how you doing, buddy? Hey, so guys, home underdogs in the NBA this season, and they allowed their last opponents between 86 and 90 points against, 70% to the under. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, last one, Brooklyn against Indiana, and then I'll do the ATS calculator. So Brooklyn coming off 3 ATS wins, and we showed you earlier, right? Brooklyn having a good streak as a favorite. So let me see here. So let's do away favorites, and let me grab some situations here off Brooklyn. Nets Pacers. All right, so we got a blowout here tonight. 127 to 104. Look at that. 127 to 104. 3-game win streak straight up and against the number. And they're coming off. I got a feeling Brooklyn's just starting to heat up right now. But they're 3 and 7 at Indiana. That's not good. 8 and 2 to the over. Maybe the over is an angle you want to look at. So let's take a look at this. So let's take a look at away favorites And what was the final score of the last game they played? They won by 13. So let me check this out. Away favorites coming off a 13-point win or more. Let me see here. So 12 to 15-point win this year. Away favorites coming off a 12 to 15-point win. Yeah, very balanced. 15-15-1 against the number. But let me see here. What did I say? Yeah, 3 straight up wins and 3 ATS wins. So from my first instinct is, okay, they're coming off 3-game win streak and they covered the spread in the last 3. So the more they win, the more they cover. The chances of them continuing to, using the law of average theory, it can't go on forever. Now they're an away favorite. So see, away favorites coming off a 3-game win streak and 3 ATS win streak, 9-7 straight up and against the number. So, it's pretty tight, right? Let's see if favorites overall. Favorites overall. Yeah, very, very tight. So I don't think I would touch that game. All right, let's go to ATS Calculator. Let me take out the calculator. All right, I'll bring it over here. All right, let's do NBA. Milwaukee. Let's do Milwaukee against Houston. I'm gonna write these down. All right, so Milwaukee against Houston. I got Milwaukee winning by 16.28. The over-under at 225. You might want to write these down if you guys are into the analytics, and then you can find the edges, and then you can tell me tomorrow if it was good or not. Golden State against Minnesota. Survey says we have Golden State winning. Look how tight that number is. 5.63, 225.88. So it likes it to go under. New Orleans against Oklahoma. $11.84 for New Orleans. 222.36. So it likes it to go under the total. All right. Toronto against Denver. Toronto against Denver. 5.75. What? Yeah. Okay. I thought it was what? Toronto? 5.75 for Denver. See how tight that is? 223. Wow. Look at the total's tight too. 47. Wow. That's pretty, yeah. Very, very tight numbers, like a point. All right. Let me see here. We got Dallas, Detroit. Away team 7.32, and we got 219. So it likes it to go over. Total's 215.5. And then the last game of the night, Brooklyn against Indiana. 4.17. Wow. And 228.4. So I do like it to go under. That's a pretty low number. All right, that's interesting right there. Let me see here. Anything else I should be looking into? In fact, let me see. I want to see Brooklyn coming off 3-game win streak, 32-22 since. So NBA road teams coming off a 3-game NBA road teams coming off a 3-game win streak, 32-22 against the point spread. Pretty balanced on the over/under, 28-26. Let me see here. I'm going to take a quick look at some of the system trends for tonight. Wow, this is pretty interesting. NBA home teams coming off a 21-point loss, 8-3 to the over this year. 8-3 to the over. That's pretty. See Milwaukee. Home teams against Houston this year. Road teams against Houston at so Houston is 7-24 against the number. Oh, that's not good, eh? Let me see here, Houston. Yeah, 7-24. Wow, that's their record against the point spread. 7-24. Yikes. Golden State, Minnesota. Let me take a look at some of the numbers here. So when I look at this on the Raymond Report, I'm looking at the second column. I don't care about the first column. Those are team trends. I'm looking for league system trends. So when any NBA team's been in this situation, this is pretty good right here. NBA home teams this year coming off a 7-point win, 15-7 to the over. That's a league system trend. That's not just that's not a team trend. Team trends are, it's like icing on a cake. You get a good system trend, that's different. Nothing there. When the total's 229.5 this year for home teams, the under is 10-6. That's, just the facts, right? Denver, Toronto. Let's see if there's any good system league. Finding winners, right? That's what we're trying to do here. That's the name of the show. Finding winners. Road teams coming off a 13-point loss this year, 8-3 to the over. So that's Toronto, Denver over. Dallas, Detroit. I can't do math. Hey, Ron, you told us there'd be no math in this show. Hey, I thought there would be no math. There is no math. Wow, look at this. NBA road teams after playing Golden State this year, 18-5 to the over. That's because it's like a home run derby, right? Hey, after playing Golden State, it's like going after playing in a home run derby. 18-5 to the over after playing Golden State for road teams this year. Wow. And teams that scored 100 points for in the last game, 15-2 to the over. Wow, that is crazy. Home teams that scored 100 points for in the last game, 15-2 for home teams to the over. And then you take this one after playing Golden State. So you got 18-5, and you got what here? What did I say? 15-2. That's pretty good. That's a lot of. So you know what? Dallas and Detroit over looks like a solid, lean right now. Let me see, Brooklyn against Indiana. See, this is why you got to look at thoroughly through the Raymond Report. You might find that needle in the haystack that that we're looking for, right? Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to leave the NBA on that note. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, that's a drop the mic one, right? Let's drop the mic and let's go to NHL right now. All right, let's take a look at NHL. Okay, they'll keep the NBA guys happy. Cold coffee, that's the best. Hey, cold coffee. Hey, that could be a title for a show. Cold coffee. All right, let's take a look at NHL. Let's take a look at the NHL since April 13th, since the trade deadline. All right, let's go April 13th. Cold coffee, that's the best. All right, we're at the 28th. So let's see how favorites have done since. Let's get a good laugh here. Since the trade deadline, cold coffee with rum. Yeah, cold coffee. Oh. All right, so any teams as a favorite in the NHL, and let's take a look at here. Wow, 66% since the trade deadline. Remember I told you guys, I said, keep an eye out on the favorites after the trade deadline. 66% of favorites. Let's see who've been the best favorite since the All-Star trade deadline. Florida 4-1 as a favorite. Tampa Bay 5-2. The Bruins 7-2 as a favorite since the trade deadline. 3-6 to the under. Cold coffee and rum. Okay. 7-1. Look at the New York Rangers. They're playing tonight. Let me get my. Sounds like a morning after the gambling gods tanned the backside. All right, New York Rangers. They're a favorite tonight. Wow, look at the Rangers playing the Islanders. That Islanders team. I had them big last year. I had the Islanders going to Stanley Cup. I had a nice futures ticket. I don't have that same vibe this year with the Islanders. I think they're a bit small up front. Like the Pageaus and all that. And that power play, it just scars me. 3-0 to the over. Washington as a favorite. Minnesota, they were 7-0 yesterday. They blew that game. Hey Isaiah, your Wild blew that game. They had a 3-1 lead. I had 2 picks yesterday. I had Minnesota, Vegas. I was looking good till St. Louis wanted to play hockey. Dallas 5-1. Dallas playing better. Dallas has been playing better since the All-Star trade deadline or the trade deadline. 5-1 as a favorite. And this is why I do this, right? Who are teams you can trust as a favorite? Vegas 7-0 as a favorite since the trade deadline. So pretty good right there. Yeah, I didn't bet on them. Yeah, good. That's a good choice. Let's see the underdogs. Let's see who've been the best dogs. Probably like the A-type teams, right? Let me see. And you know what? I don't think we're going to see a lot of good records as underdogs since the trade deadline, but let's keep an eye on the over-unders. I think the unders might be worth a look here. Ottawa 5-2. Ottawa's been 5-2. Ottawa's been good. Like, that's my team, right? I'm from Ottawa, and these guys are if they can get their goaltending situation solved, I think they'll be a good team down the stretch next year. Couple years. Detroit 2-5 to the under. Jersey 1-8. Yeah, Jersey since them and Columbus have melded in. Philly 2-4. Philly, I don't know what's going on in Philly, man. I don't know if Vigneault's going to survive that. 3-1 for Washington. Columbus 0-6. Winnipeg, yeah, there's another situation. The wheels are falling off in Winnipeg. 1-4 as a dog. And they were a good dog to bet too, right? Prior to the trade deadline, they were a really good dog. St. Louis 4-1 as an underdog to the over. Calgary 0-3 to the under. Kings 0-3 as a dog. So pretty good numbers there to reach. All right, let's take a look at some of the other situations. Let me see here. Let's go to Super Database. Let's go to NHL. And let's go find some winners. Hey, find me a winner. I had Blues on my Hockey Picks profile. Yeah, did you? Cold coffee with rum. That's funny. Sounds like all right. Let's take a look at some of the situation. Yeah, you know what? Boston minus 400. Yeah, I don't think so. Minnesota, St. Louis, Minnesota. You know what? Right, this is like playoff hockey right now. They don't get time to think about that game. Right back at it. Then, so St. Louis. Let me take a look at that. St. Louis, Minnesota. The way St. Louis is playing right now. Let me check out their standings. They're like, I think we gotta start playing hockey now because the playoffs are close and we want to make the playoffs. Is St. Louis? Let me see where they are in the standings. I thought they were like 5th or something, right? St. Louis. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Though they're 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, there's 50 points. Arizona 47, San Jose. So Arizona's got a chance. I don't think San Jose. They're too inconsistent. But St. Louis in 4th. Yeah, they're not good. So Vegas, they locked it up last night with a nice win over Colorado. Colorado on a 3-game losing streak now. Vegas got first. Colorado, Minnesota. That race for second's wide open, and now it's between Arizona and St. Louis. So St. Louis got to keep winning here, but so does Minnesota. Minnesota can still get second, but if they go 1-4 and 2-3, Colorado, Minnesota, that's all about home ice advantage right now. So yeah, everybody's got to win. No matter what, you got to win your games, right? All right, let me see here. St. Louis, Minnesota, 10-3 against C-type team. You know, even though St. Louis is hot, they're still a team below 500. So let me see this. Let's do, what's the line on tonight's game? I got -135. So let's do home favorites this season, coming off a 1-goal loss. Versus a team that has 41 to 49% win percentage. Let me see, do I got that? Yeah, 41 to 50% win percentage this year. So a C-type team, right? Survey says 21-8. Not bad. That's not bad. If you like Minnesota, that's a pretty good. Okay, let me take away this, and let me do. What's the total tonight? 5.5. 40-27. 32-35. Pretty balanced on the over-under. All right, let me see this here. They scored what? They scored 3 goals last game. And who do they have on deck? At St. Louis again. Wow. So this is going to be 3 in a row. So they got St. Louis again. So it's a, let me see, back-to-back games. Yeah. Let's try back. I got back-to-back. Back-to-back Jacks. Okay. Every time I think of Chris Berman. Back. All right. 2-1. Oh, not a lot of recurrences. Let me do home teams. Home teams coming off a 1-goal loss in back-to-back games. 6-6. Wow. That's tight. Let's do any situation. Let's do any. Coming off a 1-goal loss in back-to-back games this year. 9-7. Wow, really tight. Really tight. All right, you know what? It's tough to go against St. Louis right now. You know, these guys, what they did to Colorado, and now they go in Minnesota. These guys are, you know, Berube's got these guys playing really good hockey right now. I wouldn't touch that game. I wouldn't touch that game tonight. Calgary, Edmonton. Calgary losing to Montreal. Let me see what Calgary's situation is here. And I'll take a look at the, you know what, let me look at I'll look at the trends after. All right, Edmonton, Edmonton beat Winnipeg, but, you know, Toronto took care of Winnipeg in 2. Now Edmonton beat them, you know, Winnipeg, I don't know what's going on. Every team goes through a hiccup, right? And I think, you know, right now it's almost like 2 points when you play Winnipeg because they've got no confidence and the Hellebuck's not playing really well. Calgary losing 2-1 to Montreal in their last game. And, you know, I just, you know, okay, you had a good situation there when Sutter came in and he calmed the waters a bit and they went on a little win streak. But, you know, 2-1, 5-2, 40. The consistency is not there. Let me see here. Calgary against Edmonton, 3-7 the last 10 in Edmonton. So let me check out their situation. So they're coming off a 2-1 loss. So let's do this. Let's see. But the thing is, Edmonton played last night against Winnipeg. They're going to be tired. This is like, 3 games in 4 nights for Edmonton? Let me see. They played here the 26th. Yeah, this is 3 games in 4 nights. And they, you know, Calgary's rested. The one thing, Calgary is really rested here. Let me see what Calgary or Edmonton in back-to-back game situations here. Do I got any stats on that? 3 games. Oh, look at this. They're the type of team that wants to keep playing. They're 5-1 at home in 3 games in 4 nights. Edmonton's really good in this situation. Let me see the last couple. Okay, so let's do home favorites, playing 3 games in 4 nights, and the back-to-back game situation. So they, you know, 8-4 home team. Look at the over, 9-3 to the over. How you doing, Eddie? There's Eddie O. Hey, Eddie, did you see the Streakcatcher? We got a streaker. Hey, we got a guy on a 9-game. We got 2 people actually. You know what? I got to show love to the Jay Stelmar here. And in fact, let me log in here. I was logged in. I don't know why it logged me out. Hey. Eddie asked me last week, how come you don't talk Streakcatcher no more? Well, we do. Hey, Eddie, look at this. Stelmar, he's 9-game win streak, and Firelink 9-game win streak. So guys, follow these two streakers. We got 2 Frank the Tanks right now. Oakland, Tampa Bay, 7.5 tonight. And folks, don't forget, make your picks. Make your picks at Streakcatcher because, hey, every now and again, someone's going to streak, and then if we can all benefit and jump on the, I always say when someone's streaking, hold the rope and just walk in line. Hey, get on the bus. Just get on the bus because you never know, right? Yeah, so that's what I mean. Hold the rope and get on the bus and just, let them see how far they can take us here. All right, let's go back to NHL. 9-3, guys. 9-3 to the over. All right, find us a lock, says Don. I didn't see that. I love when people ask for a lock, says Don Anderson. Yeah, Don, you're going to be banned if you mention that word here, eh? We'll start banning you. I'll bring the Ed McMahon cane and I'll hook you. You're out of here. Just kidding, Donnie. All right, especially when they ask for a parlay lock. Yeah, yeah, I got a great 15-teamer for you guys. I guarantee you it's going to come in. Hey, a 15-team lock. Ron Raymond was a good handicapper. It was on this day, on April 29th, when he guaranteed a lock. It was last seen in the handicapping industry. Hey, home favorites, 3 games and 4 nights. Yeah, pretty good. Let me see the last 2 years. $40, 37, and 4. So this year, because of COVID, right? Teams you're probably going to get the jello legs in the third periods. And let me see home teams, not favorites. 13. Oh, let's see this. Wow, look at that. So when I do home teams, 13-4 to the over. But when I do home favorites, 9-3. Wow, that's wild. All right, I think Calgary might be the play here tonight, though. Let me see here. Coming off a 2-point win. So they're coming off a 2-point win. Let me see here. 2-goal win. Hey, 2-point win. What do I think? I'm in basketball mode here. All right, so let me do home teams coming off a 2-goal win in back-to-back games. Yeah, not too many of those situations, right? So let's take away the back-to-back game after playing Winnipeg. But then it's just going to be the Canadian teams. Oh, what the hell? We'll try it. Where's Winnipeg? Hey, I don't have Winnipeg here. After playing, see, I don't have Winnipeg. So, see, it's good to do quality control, right? After playing Winnipeg, gotta add that. After playing the Peg, hey, all my friends in the Peg are saying, "Hey, Ron, what's going on? You don't like Winnipeg? Yeah, or because our Blue Bombers beat your Red Blacks, that's why you don't have them, Ron." Hey, CFL. Let's hope CFL can go this year, man. Yeah, I have to add Winnipeg. That sucks. All right. Home team's coming off a 2-goal win. And let me see here. What can I... We'll do versus division opponent. After division game. We'll do after division game. Yeah, no. All right, we'll get off that one. Let me take a look at... look at the situations here. Not much. I think Calgary might be the play here tonight. I think Edmonton, but Edmonton's done well in 3 games and 4 nights. But a lot of hockey. Dallas, Tampa Bay. There's your Stanley Cup rematch. All right, let's do this. So Dallas, last 2. So Tampa Bay is on a 3-game win streak. Let's take a look at Tampa Bay. That's 3 games on the road, right? Yeah. No, the Chicago was at. All right, so they played 7-4 win on the 27th, so it's 2 days rest. 1 day's rest, 28. Oh yeah. Home teams on 1 day's rest. Tampa Bay 15-3. Dallas is 6-4 in their last 10, but they played a lot of home games, right? Yeah. See, 1-2. The last 2 against Carolina. 5-1 they lost to the Canes, but they beat the Canes. So Dallas coming off a 4-1 loss. So let me try this here. Let me do away teams coming off a 3-goal loss in the last game. Current season. And let me see, was it one? They scored 1 goal. Okay, so they scored 1 goal for in the last game. Nope, nothing good there. I'll take this out. You know what? We're in a favorite season. Like 66% of the games. Look at that. I said it earlier, right? Look at the favorites since April 13th. Look at all the favorites coming in. 66%. Tampa Bay 5-2. Yeah, this is. Let me take a look here. I don't know how you go against Tampa Bay. I still think Tampa Bay is the best team in hockey. Hopefully Stamkos will be back soon. Oh, he should be back for the playoffs. So Tampa Bay scored 7 goals in their last game. Home teams that scored 7 goals for this season in their last game, the under is 11-3. So let me check this out. So home teams coming off a game where they said 7 goals or more. Let me see if we can do 7 or more goals for in their last game. 6-15 to the under. Yeah, the under might be good here tonight, guys, in the Dallas-Tampa Bay game. And you got Dallas playing better hockey, even though, let me see, Dallas in their last game, 5-1. Hudobin, I don't know if Hudobin played. No, I think was it Hudobin or Ottinger? Not sure. All right, let me take a look here. Let me see another game. Tampa Bay, Vancouver, Toronto. Now, Toronto's in the same situation here as Edmonton, right? Toronto's in a tough spot. They had a big game last night against Montreal. Montreal was a scheduling nightmare, right? They played Calgary for like a week out there. Then they come home, and then right away they got to play the top team in the North Division. That was a bad spot for now. Vancouver's worse though. Vancouver's just been awful. So they lost to the Senators twice, right? 6-3, 2-1. They got lucky here. They beat them 4-2, and then Ottawa's really played well against Vancouver. They went 3-1 against them. Toronto obviously I think is the play here. Let me see how the Leafs. Let me take a look at the Leafs here. Obviously, if I'm going to handicap this game, I'm not laying 3-12. It's going to be a totals, right? You might want to look at the total here. I think the over could be a play here. 12-8. Toronto coming off a 5-game road stand. Really? Wow, I didn't know that. Let me check their last 5 games. Oh, yeah. So they played Vancouver, Winnipeg, and then Montreal. Oh, so Toronto hasn't played at home since April 15th. Interesting. All right. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to... Toronto's the team here, but I don't know if I'm going to touch the total. Let me see the other game. Philly, New Jersey. Man, that's a bad... Detroit, Carolina. Islanders, Rangers. Let's take a look at the Islanders, Rangers. Rangers, what did I say? 7-1 as a favorite since the trade deadline. Check out the New York Rangers. 7-1 as a favorite since the trade deadline. Rangers playing good hockey, and what are they in the standings here? Rangers. So New York, 4 points out of Boston. So they're still on the outside looking in. And then the Islanders are 63, and they're trying to catch Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's playing good hockey right now. It's between Pittsburgh and Washington for the top, and New York Islanders. Let me see this game here. 2.95, 2.67. So look at this. The Islanders against B-type teams, 2-7 straight up. 2-3 for the Rangers against B-type teams. So both these teams have trouble against team with a 500 record. Islanders 7-3 at Madison Square Garden last 10. Man, look at the under here for the Islanders on the road on 1 day's rest. 12-13 to the under. 20-4. Wow. Man, you know, this is why you got a handicap, because these numbers just sneak up on you like this. 20-4 for the New York Islanders on the road. Who knew that? Hey, put your hand down. You guys didn't know that. Hey, 20-4 to the under. And what's the total in this game here tonight? I'm surprised we haven't seen any 5s lately. Remember the other day, Boston Pittsburgh, I said this line should be 5. I got a feeling this line should be 5 too. I think the under is where you want to go, but look at the Rangers, 4-1, and 2-7. Yeah, I think the under is where you want to go in this one. All right, Pittsburgh, Washington. There's the other game of the night. Pittsburgh against Washington. So what's the situation leading up to this game here? So Pittsburgh on a 3-game win streak, and Washington on a 3-game win streak, and Pittsburgh last 4 have gone under. So let's take a look at this here. Let's see if we can find an angle. All right, so let's do NHL. Let's do home favorites. Coming off a 3-game win streak this season. (24-13), 22-15 to the over. Not bad. All right, let me see. 3-1 under. And what was the last game they played? It was a 1-0 win. Wow. And so let's do this. Let's do home favorites coming off a 3-game win streak and allowed 0 goals against in their last game. Where are you, 0? Okay, here we go. Coming off a 0 goals against in our last game. 3-2. Nah, not a great. Let's do home teams. 3-2. Okay, let's take away the 3-game win streak. Let's do a 1-goal win. Yeah, so 1-0 games, right? 5-5. 3-7 to the under. Look at that. So finding winners here at the Raymond Report. So any team, home or away. No, 9-8 now. But if you do home teams, so if a home team is coming off a 1-goal win, a 1-0 win, 3-7 to the under. There you go, folks. The under tonight in that game might be a good one. There's Sniper. How you doing, Snipe? Hey. All right, those are finding winners today, guys. It's 11:32, and if you missed the beginning of the show, the baseball show, you can go catch on YouTube. I crunched the numbers a bit on the home favorites versus lefties and righties. And I got some other things I'm going to put in the database, and I'm going to share it with you guys. Again, don't forget, make your picks at bullpenpicks.com, hockeypicks.com, and bballpicks.com. And let's wish our streakers some good luck, right? We got 2 streakers going on here at streakcatcher.com. We got Firelink047. He's got his selection here tonight. And Jay Stelmar, 9-game win streak. He had the over in the Thunder and Celtics game 2 nights ago. So let's wish these guys luck. And you can see they're very, if you look at Stelmar here, he played on the 27th, then he took a day off, 25th, 24th, 23, 22. So you know what? He's selective. So he or she is selective. I like that. I like the fact that, he's true to form, right? He's NBA. He or she is an NBA junkie. So I like that. That means they're honing in on their craft, right? All right, folks, don't forget, if you do enjoy the show, hit the like button. I appreciate if you do. If you don't, if you think it sucks, hit the thumbs down. Again, I got broad shoulders. I can take it. And hopefully you guys enjoy the show. And if you missed today's show, you can catch the replay. And if you're watching the replay, you can catch us. Just put the notification bell on. I don't, again, if you're wondering what time he goes on, I just, depends where the wind is blowing type thing, right? Because, busy during the day and there's things that break down, like the computer, the feeds, or I got to fix things. That's why I can't be tied down to a schedule, because I just wake up every day and I got to fix things, or things are thrown to me, curveballs, right? You can't predict curveballs. So I got to go on when when everything is, when I come on the show, I need everything working right. I can't come on the show and this is not working, this feed's not working, that I don't have the odds. So that there's a lot of preparation to do before I get to the show, right? All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your day for a full Friday. That's a Thursday to you and me. And I'll be back here on a Freaky Friday. That's tomorrow with another Raymond Report. Have a great night, folks, and we'll see you back here on Friday. Cheers.